Manifesting a specific person. Everyone wants to attract love into their lives, and often people already have a person in mind that they believe is going to fulfill that role. In this video, I'm going to talk about the reality of manifesting a specific person and the truth that no one tells you. And I'm also going to give you a tried and true method that I have used in my own life to manifest a loving, healthy relationship, and which I believe is 100% the most effective way to manifest love. Hey everyone, I'm Georgia. I'm currently studying a master's degree in consciousness, spirituality and transpersonal psychology. And in my free time, I love to research manifestation and the law of attraction. Now this video is all about attracting love into your life. Now, as someone who has done a drastic shift from being someone who had no luck at all when it came to relationships to now being someone who is actually in a very healthy, loving relationship, I feel very confident in discussing what works and what doesn't work when it comes to manifesting love into your life. So first, the truth about manifesting a specific person. Now, this isn't necessarily the truth that everyone wants to hear, but I promise you, if you stick with me, then what I'm about to tell you will definitely pay off in the long run. Now, I think the most important thing to understand about this is, why are you trying to manifest a specific person? What is this desire revealing to you? In most cases, this desire to manifest a specific person is coming from a place of lack. You want to manifest this person that you have in mind because you feel like that person is going to complete you in some way. How do I know this? If you were truly content with yourself and pouring love into yourself, then why would you need to manifest a specific person? Why would you be focusing your energy on trying to attract someone who isn't currently voluntarily choosing you? Trying to manifest a person who is not consciously choosing you implies that you are not consciously choosing yourself. In most cases, it likely means that you're trying to manifest this person to fill some sort of void within you. Now, this is likely happening on a subconscious level, but subconsciously what's probably going on is that you believe that once you attract this person into your life, then that is going to make you worthy in some way. It's going to make you complete and whole. So there's this underlying element of neediness, a void needing to be filled. And anyone who is familiar with the law of attraction will know that neediness is kind of a recipe for disaster when it comes to manifestation. And that is because the universe reflects back to us our state of being. So if you're in a state of feeling needy, you really need or want something, then the state of being that you are actually existing within is a state of lack. You're putting out the energy of lack. So the universe is going to reflect that back to you and you'll get more lack in your life. So that's why the energy of neediness is kind of repelling. It's very easy to actually see this in action. Imagine people who are very confident in life. They are always the people who seem to have no trouble attracting potential partners. And then, on the other hand, look at people who are very needy when it comes to relationships, and they often have difficulties when it comes to attracting a person they want. Now, this neediness is something that I'm very familiar with in my own life, so I can really empathise with anyone else who is experiencing this. I used to be someone who didn't have a whole lot of self-worth, and this led me to becoming very needy when it came to wanting to attract certain people, and this meant that previously I was never very successful in my romantic life. It was always me in the position of doing the chasing and never the other way around, which is obviously not what we want to experience. So you can see how trying to manifest a specific person, which most likely stems from some sense of neediness, is definitely not the most effective way to attract love into your life. And I also think it's worth noting that trying to manifest a person is very different to manifesting some physical object or circumstances, like trying to manifest money or a job or something like that. In this case, you're trying to manifest a person who has their own conscious choices. Someone whose choices might not align with yours, which brings up some ethical dilemmas. But also, I think it's worth asking yourself, do you really want to manifest someone in your life who is not consciously choosing you? Or do you deserve better than that? Now, there is another way which is much more effective. Instead of trying to manifest a specific person, what we're going to do is focus on becoming the love that we're trying to attract. Now, what does this mean? It means we're going to give to ourselves whatever it is that we're seeking from that specific person, whatever it is that we're looking for them to give us. So we need to feel that love for ourselves before trying to seek that love elsewhere. Now, I think there are two important ways that we can do this. Now, the first way is the obvious way, and that is simply by pouring love into ourselves. Now, there are a number of ways we could do this. One way would be really amping up our self-love talk, so giving ourselves compliments. You could do this through the form of affirmations, but Really focus on whatever it is that you love about yourself and consistently tell yourself that. And another example to do this is basically to just kind of date yourself, whether that is buying yourself gifts every once in a while. You don't need someone else to do that for you. You are allowed to treat yourself and make yourself feel special. Or again, you could also do activities that you would wait to do with someone else on a date. And if you really make this a habit, really focus on building yourself up and loving yourself, then that's going to make you feel so much more whole and complete on your own, and you won't feel like you need someone else to give that love to you. You're already giving that love to yourself, and you can start emitting that frequency of love, which is so much more effective for manifesting that back into your life. Now, the second thing that we need to do is to heal the wounds that are causing us to feel needy in the first place. Now, in my experience, the easiest way to do this is to lean into your triggers. Simply start paying attention to what triggers you and use it as an opportunity to heal. So, for example, let's say you are getting to know someone that you really like, and you've been texting them, and suddenly they become really slow at responding to you. Now, I'm sure this is something that a lot of us can relate to. This usually triggers something within you. You start feeling really anxious, really upset. It triggers these negative mental spirals about, does this person still like me? Have I done something wrong? Now, as uncomfortable as this experience is, it's the perfect opportunity to heal. What's happening here is these circumstances are triggering an unhealed wound within you. So in this moment, instead of acting impulsively and maybe texting the person asking them why they're not responding to you, we don't want to act on that trigger. Instead, what we want to do is take a step back and feel the emotion that is being brought up. These emotions that are coming up are basically like residue from that wound that you never healed in the first place. So now, if you take the opportunity to just sit there and be with yourself and feel these emotions, then you can actually heal that wound that has been suppressed within you for so long. And when I say feel your emotion, I literally mean just feel it, nothing else. Don't fuel it by thinking about all the things that caused this emotion to come up in the first place. Simply sit there and literally pay attention to wherever you are feeling it in your body and just feel it. And what you'll notice is eventually, if you bring your full conscious awareness to that emotion without fueling it, then what will happen is eventually that emotion will start to subside. And that is a sign that you are healing that wound. Now, if you keep doing this when you are triggered, then you should notice that that wound does not get triggered as much from the same situations that were causing it in the first place. And as a result, you're healing that underlying void. You don't need to any longer feel that sense of neediness. That will just naturally start to dissipate. So if you implement these two practices, then you're going to be setting yourself up to not just manifest any relationship, but to actually manifest a relationship that's good for you. So if you have healed your wounds and been pouring love into yourself, then what's going to happen is you're going to start emitting a new frequency. You're no longer going to be emitting a frequency of lack. You're going to be emitting a frequency of self-love and wholeness. Now, according to the law of attraction, which reflects our state of being back to us, then that should start being reflected back into your life. Now, in a romantic sense, then you should just naturally start attracting more people who have interest in you, because they're reflecting back to you that love that you now have for yourself and that you are emitting. Now, this is exactly what happened to me. My big breakthrough, which actually shifted everything for me, actually stemmed from a breakup. Now, as painful as this breakup was, because it was bringing up all of these unhealed wounds within me and amplifying them in a sense, my lack of self-worth and the neediness that stemmed from that lack of self-worth and self-love, they were being amplified. And whilst I didn't know it straight away, this became the perfect opportunity for me to heal, and that is exactly what I did. I was very conscious during that time of actually feeling my emotions and letting myself heal. And what happened as a result of that was a really drastic shift for me, which changed everything for the better. Because I let myself feel these emotions as they were coming up, I started to heal these underlying wounds I had regarding a lack of self-worth. And what happened to me through healing these wounds is that I naturally started to build up a sense of self-worth and self-love. And this is something that I could really see tangibly in my own life, because now when certain people would try to talk to me, and these were people that previously I would have felt really needy towards, and energetically I would have chased those people, now the roles completely switched. I was no longer interested in these people because I have built up a sense of self-worth and self-love. So what I was previously unconsciously seeking from these people, which was for them to try and complete me in some way, for them to kind of prove to myself that I was worthy, Now I no longer had that need because I'd healed the underlying wound. And what happened as a result is the dynamics completely shifted. Instead of me doing the chasing, which is previously what I always experienced, I now had people who were actually chasing me instead. So I completely shifted my reality because I was now emitting a new frequency. And not long after this, I actually did attract a new relationship into my life. And this was a relationship that embodied everything that I would have wanted to attract in the first place. A relationship full of love and respect, and a relationship in which both of us actually want to grow together. This only came into my life once I had healed my underlying wounds and no longer needed someone else to come and complete me. I already felt that sense of love for myself, and that is when it came into my life. And the funny thing is, when you cultivate this sense of self-love for yourself and you don't actually need anyone else, you might actually attract the specific person that you wanted in the first place. But not because through manifestation you are manipulating reality and influencing their choices to want you, but because instead you are now emitting a new frequency of self-love that will simply attract people to you. But even if you don't attract that specific person as a result of doing this work, then that's okay, because you're setting yourself up to attract someone in a relationship who is right for you and who will embody everything that you are hoping to manifest. Now, this is of course the kind of love that you deserve, and often it's the things that we don't see coming that are the best things and work out better than we could have ever expected. So the moral of the story, you do not need to manifest a specific person. No matter how much you like this person, you deserve someone who consciously chooses you yourself. You do not deserve a love in which you have had to manipulate into receiving. All you need to do is give yourself whatever it is that you are seeking from that specific person. Pour that love into yourself. And also use your triggers as an opportunity to heal wounds that may still be lingering within you. If you do this, I promise it's going to make the world of a difference. You're going to be emitting a totally new frequency, and the universe is going to reflect that back to you in one way or another. You're going to be setting yourself up to attract a love into your life that you actually deserve, and I wish you all the best in doing that.